Welcome down the warp pipe. Holidays are right around the corner for us, and that means as gamers, only one thing. So I figured what better time to throw together a list of games that I recommend you keep an eye out for during this holiday and deal season. In case you're new, I'm Ty. But if not, great to see you again. I've got a couple content creators along for the ride today, and definitely make sure to check out their channels in the description below once you're done with this video. So first up for me is going to be Aliens Fireteam Elite. This is a game that came out of nowhere for me, and basically I just decided to pick up along with a friend as co-birthday gifts because both our birthdays are in July. It's a co-op third-person shooter, and it does basically require two friends to play along with it if you want to play on the higher difficulties. However, even playing on the lower difficulties, you get challenge cards that you can throw into the mix and make things really interesting. Whether it's just bonus XP and bonus money, or something as crazy as having your health drained constantly unless you're shooting and get healed if you shoot an enemy. There's a ton of different ways to play the game, and with a quick leveling system and multiple different classes you can play as, and steal perks from once you've leveled them up to a certain level, there's a lot of mixing and matching and a lot of replay value in this game. Never mind the fact that although the layouts don't change in the levels, depending on the difficulty and a random roll of the dice, you'll get a different enemy layout, making sure to keep you on your toes while you're playing through. As mentioned, hopefully you play through this with two friends, or at least have two friends you can grab a copy for as a gift. Next up is going to be the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This one is an awesome bundle of the three original Mass Effect games, and although it's maybe something that not everyone is looking to grab because they've either already grabbed it or have no interest in playing, if you happen to catch it on a deal, it's highly recommended, as even just playing through Mass Effect 2 again is going to be a blast. That being said, I've only played through Mass Effect 1, and although I did a video on it earlier talking about how it's way jankier than I remembered, it's still a great time and a fantastic classic of a game. What better time to play the original three games in the Mass Effect series before an inevitable Commander Shepard return with this fifth Mass Effect game? I'm just gonna call it Mass Effect 4 and forget Andromeda ever existed. Next up, we've got Hot Wheels Unleashed. This is a surprise amazing racing game. It's actually the best single player racing game I've played that doesn't have an open world this year. And although it's maybe a little light on the online features, as it has a bit of an issue with AFK players right now, and although there's challenges now that allow you to get gears and coins a lot quicker, it's a little bit cumbersome going through the menus to actually claim all of your gears and all of your coins to level up or purchase new cars. Ultimately though, the single player was a fantastic fun time, and I'm really hoping they add additional DLC with single player content, as just playing through the maps that are made is fun, but I'd love to play more of the user-created content and be able to complete the challenges at the same time. Unfortunately, that might mean playing online, which is just completely inefficient, and as far as I'm concerned, is a bit of a waste of the time. That being said, I've already got my money's worth and more out of this game. Never mind the fact that you can throw together a private lobby with some friends so you can ignore the AFK people. All the developers really need to do is throw in some bots to spice things up a little bit. Last year, I want to talk about Mario Golf Super Rush. I did a little review for it that may or may not have hit perfectly because I did it a little bit too quick, but ultimately this game is a blast, and if anything, is kind of the opposite of most games of the Battle Pass, as it only has one item you can unlock by playing online in ranked mode a month, and it takes only about 2 hours to do it. So it's really strange, but also kind of enjoyable and light. So you throw it on once a month for 2 hours, hopefully you have some friends that you can play it with, and you unlock whatever you would need to unlock for the month and be done with it. Never mind the fact that they've added additional courses through free DLC updates, and the fact that the single player, although having a bit of a weird audio tone to it, is still a blast to play. This is an easy recommendation that I hope goes on sale so more people pick it up. Also, anyone out there that has it, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, let's all agree we should play on the first weekend of the month so we can all find ranked online matches and stop dealing with Bowser Jr. as a CPU. I mean, he's better than Bowser Jr. as a real person, but he's still Bowser Jr. Okay, so I'm gonna throw it over to Marcello from GameCube Galaxy so he can take it away.
Hey guys, so my buddy Ty over at Down the Warp Pipe mentioned that he's doing a holiday guide for games he recommends for the holiday season. So I got the perfect pick for you guys. So first up is gonna be Super Smash Bros. Melee. Phenomenal game, heck of a time. Then you've got Star Wars Rogue Leader, which is a phenomenal launch title for the GameCube as well. And then another one that I love is Luigi's Mansion. This is another fantastic launch title for the GameCube. All three games came out just in time for the holiday season. Wait, hold on a second. Hey, what's up, Ty? Oh, wait, it's 2021? Not 2001? Son of a... Hey guys, let's try that again. So, my buddy Ty said it's actually 2021, not 2001. So, fast forwarding 20 years, here are my 3 picks for holiday games that you should definitely be on the lookout for if you can get for cheap, or just honestly my 3 games of the year. First up is Cruisin' Blast. Brings it back to the good old school days of arcade gaming. I've been looking forward to a good arcade racer on the Switch for many years. Actually, when I played this in the arcade for the first time, about in 2017, I remember thinking like, why is this not on the Switch? It's got Nintendo's logo all over the arcade cabinet. This would be a perfect game on the Switch. Fast forward 4 years later, and it finally came to the Switch itself, and it's a great port. I've already invested well over 10 to 15 hours in this, trying to do everything you can. Phenomenal game. It's only $40, but if you can get it for cheaper, go for it. It's already been on sale once for about $30. I could definitely see this going on sale again, but definitely keep a lookout for this one. Next up is going to be an obvious choice, but realistically, it's going to be my game of the year, and that's Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread is a return to form 2D Metroid game that realistically just nails everything about the 2D Metroid formula, but wraps up the entire saga perfectly. Phenomenal gameplay, excellent visuals. This game is a complete package from beginning to end, and it's honestly an experience I'll not forget anytime soon. And my last recommendation is actually a PS5 exclusive, and that's Returnal. Returnal is actually one of the few PS5 exclusives to me that actually stands out as a PS5 worthy exclusive that you should be getting if you actually have the console. Realistically, it provides a gameplay experience that's unlike any other. Returnal is a very challenging game, but it's one that'll get you hooked right away. It's super frenetic and fast-paced and engaging, intense. It provides an experience that I actually haven't matched on the PS5. Compared to all the other games currently on the system, this is definitely my top pick. So if you have a PS5 and you haven't played this yet, definitely get it. It is worth every penny. Such an amazing game. Beat it both times, got both endings. It's a phenomenal experience. So there you have it, folks. Those are my picks for what I would say to look out for in the holidays, if you can find it for cheap, or just add it to your list of games that you want to get for the holiday season. Anyway, thank you, Ty, for having me on the Down the Warp Pipe collab. Back to you.
I'm glad he at least got with the times on this one, but the next group of games comes with a small caveat. They're all available right now to play if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. Although, I'd recommend picking up a copy of these so you can play them even when they manage to leave Game Pass. First up is going to be Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is a game that reignited my passion for JRPGs, specifically of the 16 and 32-bit era, and made me go buy a couple of games that I have been wanting for a really, really long time. But realistically, this is a great JRPG on its own. And although it updates and pays a lot of homage to different games from that 16 and 32-bit era, it stands on its own as both an interesting and fun crime noir story, as well as being really goofy and fun in its own. Even if you're not a fan of JRPGs traditionally, I'd even recommend picking it up, as the simplicity and straightforwardness of its mechanics really lends itself towards new players jumping in and playing it for the first time. Next up, we're going to be talking about It Takes Two. I recently played through this with my wife in basically what felt like 2 days. It could have been a little bit more than that, but it was such a fun and great crafted co-op game. It brought me back to the days of Portal 2, which as far as I'm concerned was my favorite co-op game of all time. But it really just takes two, and the weird thing about this one is that it has no collectibles in a traditional sense that you'd expect growing up being a Nintendo kid. However, once you get past that and realize there is 25 challenges for you and your partner to seek out, it's a lot of fun to go and try and find those, and we went back and managed to actually get all of them just to see who could be better at each one. And I have to admit, my wife did beat me a couple times despite not being a traditional gamer. So kudos to her. Regardless of whether they're a traditional gamer or maybe just someone who likes to sit on the couch watching you play games, this one is a great time and ultimately taking away those collectibles allows the story to show and flourish. This is one that I'm not going to soon forget every single level of the game, because each level is its own small crafty little masterpiece. Last up here is a game I did a what I'd change for back early on in the channel's life, but it's actually a great game and doesn't really need a whole lot of improvement. The thing with Cyber Shadow is it is to Ninja Gaiden what Shovel Knight was to Mega Man. So it's a little more literal than that, as it feels a lot more like the old Ninja Gaiden games than Shovel Knight felt like Mega Man, but the core structure and identity is still totally there. Fast, furious action, and more than a few moments where my hair felt like it might have been getting pulled out soon. I managed to make this game something that I won't forget, and honestly, I hope Limited Run Games makes a actual physical release for it at some point in the future, as this one I want to add to my collection on the shelf. So next up, we're going to toss it over to Avalon from Avalon, I guess? Regardless, he's got a couple games for us.
Hello everyone, my name is Avalon, and when Ty Dukan asked me for help, I was right there to tell you some great games to pick up this holiday season. Now, I'm a big lover of games and I could talk about this for hours and hours, but I have been told I can only talk about 3 things for this list. So, firstly, I want to talk about a new game, Aeon Drive. Now this is a tight 2D platforming game built around speed. You have to know exactly what your character's going to do and how you're going to do it and really control your inputs. It's a really good fun game if you want to get competitive. It's got these public leaderboards that let you know how close you are to other people's time, and with each level taking less than 30 seconds, it's something you can just pick up and put down whenever you want. If you don't want to get into the competitive side of it, there's a great storyline to it as well, and to be honest, it released really cheap. And I hear a lot of, oh Avalon, there's so many 2D platformer games, I never know which ones are any good. Well, let me tell you now, if you're into the platforming, if you like Celeste, or like Kaizo Mario stuff, Aeon Drive is definitely a game worth checking out. Now for my second game, I want to talk about something that many of us experience over the holidays, you know. We see our family, we see our friends, we see our cat, and you just think, I love you so much, my cat. You are everything to me. But I want you to hate me. So you pull out the Monopoly or whatever board game you want. But what I'm saying is, put away the board games and get yourself into Jackbox. Now, by recommending Jackbox Party Pack, I'm not recommending something new here. I'm not going against some trend. It's not some niche game that no one's heard of. But these games are so much fun for both family and friends and everything. Whether you want to play them online, you can stream them through whatever you want to stream them through. Twitch content creators sometimes stream them with their fans, and that's a great little moment. But also, they're good fun to play in the room with your family. You can get everyone in the room on their phones all playing these games together, and it's just good fun. And with the barrier of entry being so low, all you need is a mobile phone. There really is no difficulty in getting these games started. They bring a new pack out every October, so the game collection keeps growing. So I'd say if you haven't got them now, it might be worth just dropping that $20 onto the first pack, seeing how you get on with it. There's stuff for everyone. There's the trivia game in every single one. I'm a big fan of the hotel trivia murder mystery stuff. There's a lying and suspicion game, so if you like Among Us, if you like board games like Secret Hitler, there's something like that for you called Push the Button. Or if you want to show off your drawing skills, you can go through Drawful, Idiots, and all of the other drawing games. You can even be a rapping robot. What about this game isn't to love? And it's just a great way to pull everyone in together and have a good friend, family, whatever event. Now, if like me, you couldn't get your cats to use their mobile phones to play Jackbox with you, and all of your friends have their adult lives where no one's timetable syncs together, maybe you want to look at a game you can play by yourself. So for my third and probably best recommendation for this holiday season, I suggest Outer Wilds. Now, Outer Wilds is one of my favourite games of all time, and the nature of the game is that I can't tell you much about it without spoiling it. However, what I can tell you is that in order to play the game, you've got to be willing to lose yourself in it. Every question you have will have an answer somewhere. The game is just built around this mystery and this exploration of space and planets, and it's so interesting. And they've just added some DLC, which has added a whole new section to it as well. Now, I could talk about this game endlessly, but I don't want to drop too many spoilers. I don't want to ruin the experience for anyone. And on top of that, Ty's given me a dirty look because I've taken too much time away from him. He just always has to be the center of attention. So with that, guys, I wish you all a happy holiday.
I want to thank Marcelo from GameCube Galaxy and Avalon from Avalon again, and definitely check out their channels linked in the description below. But for me, I've already managed to pick up a few games like Guardians of the Galaxy, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and hopefully soon, Tales of Arise.